If you are looking to travel to Ghana one day, or you're ready to go, but you're first time traveler or your first time traveling to Africa and you don't know where to start because there are so many resources, but also they're not, and you're probably scared or you need somebody to just tell you things from a local's perspective. If you are this person, then I am your girl. My name is Naomi Akirfi Bonsu. I am an African American born and raised in Ghana. I lived in Ghana for 18 years of my life. Moved to the US in 2013. I've been here since, but within those years, I've been to Ghana more times than I can ever imagine in my entire life. I go to Ghana at least 4 or 5 times a year, and I haven't been in the past couple of years because I became a mother, so I wanted to make sure that my kids were old enough and safe enough to travel. Anyway, I am excited to do this video. On this channel, we talk about all things Ghana. My mission is to connect African American women here to the community in Ghana, to the resources, and if you stick around long enough, you will realize that on this channel, there's a lot of fun, there's healing, there's community. I also have a community of 300 plus Black women just like you who are interested in traveling to Ghana one day, and we love the culture, we love the history, we love the traditions, and so we learn about all of that. We do monthly workshops, and it's such a fun place to be. If you are interested in joining, look in the description below. I have a link there for you. All right, let's get started. The first thing you need to travel to Ghana is a passport. This is obvious if you've traveled before or if you are but you would be surprised, I have met people that would ask me, hey, I have an ID card, can I go to Ghana with that? So the answer to that is no. You do need a passport to go to Ghana. Passport is something that's granted to you so that you can travel around the world. That's pretty basic. You can get a passport at your post office. You can get it from the post office, some city clerk, you can go to your city hall and they can help you apply for it if they do it, but it's very easy. You can Google passport, but I think for the most part people know, so we won't stay that long. By the way, I have some tea here. I am drinking some herbal tea, so grab yourself some tea too, or let me know what kind of tea you're drinking, if you're drinking any, or what you're sipping on, or what you're eating, or what you're doing, right? Okay, I love tea. The second thing you need to prepare before you embark on your trip to Ghana is a visa. So a visa is totally separate from passport. Now this one I get a lot more people than you would think, because as a US citizen, there are a lot of countries that you get to travel to for free, but there are some countries that you do need visa to go, and Ghana is one of them. Visa is something that when you apply for, it's a way for a country to do some research on you, get information on you, on data, and that's just, sometimes that's a way for them to get income on tourism. So Ghana does that. There are 3 kinds of visas. There are 2 main kinds of visas. So there's the single entry visa, and then there's the multiple entry visa. The single entry visa, it gives you access to Ghana one time, and the multiple entry visa, when you get it, if you are a US citizen or another citizen, they give you up to 3 years to not stay in Ghana, but to go and come anytime. If you are a Ghanaian born in, if you are, someone like me, a double US citizen, or you're a Ghanaian, right? You were born in Ghana, but you're an American or something like that, you get 5 years. So For the single entry, they give you 3 months. 3 months. All right. So for the single entry, they give you 3 months, and so to apply, if you're applying for the single entry, you have to wait until last minute, especially if you're going to stay in Ghana for a while, so that it doesn't expire. Now the multiple entry, like I explained it before, they give you about 3 years, so you can apply for that anytime. Single entry is about $60 as of the time of making this video. Was $60 as of the last time I looked. And multiple entry visa is $100, so it's just $40 difference. The only thing you have to keep in mind that a lot of people hate is that you have to mail your passport in. Now, if you want step by step guide on how to apply for your visa, I have that in my community. I have a video that goes in details. I mean, it is a 30+ minute video on there. So if you're interested, join my community and you will get that information. So single entry, multiple entry, and $60, $100. What else did I talk about? The other thing I forgot to mention about the passport is your passport has to be active, has to have at least 6 months of activeness. That means if your passport we are in January, if your passport is going to expire in April, then it wouldn't work. But if your passport has at least until June or July before it expires, then you're good to apply for a visa or to travel. You can travel with it, but as far as the visa. Now, the third thing that you should look out for is vaccinations. So Ghana has a requirement on some vaccinations. One vaccination. Ghana has a requirement on one vaccination, and that is yellow fever. You need to have a yellow fever vaccination before you will be let into the country. Now, if you go on the CDC website, it can give you clinics of where you can get that vaccination done. Let me go back to the visa. For the visa, you can apply for the visa online. Ghana has some consulates and the embassy that you can apply to. There's a Washington DC embassy, Ghana's embassy in the Washington DC. You can apply for it online. There is also a New York consulate that does it, and there's an Arkansas one too. They're very professional. Arkansas one, I called them one time, exceptional service. And so with them though, they do charge an extra $50 for processing, so keep that in mind, but they are amazing. I've used a DC before. I never really had any issues, but I have heard people didn't have the best experience, especially during the pandemic. So, which, a lot of things were happening. So just keep in mind that you have options. All right. Now, as far as the vaccination, so yellow fever is required. You can get yellow fever vaccination in a lot of the pharmacies, such as Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. Does Rite Aid still exist? I think so. Anyway, you can get some though at those places, but you can also get it at clinics. When you go on the CDC website, they have a portal where you can put in your zip code, and it will tell you some clinics that you can get that done. If you need that direct link, it's in my community. What else do I have to tell? Now, that is the only required vaccination that you need to go to Ghana. If you've done it ever and you still have your yellow book, you can take it. So it doesn't have a time frame of when you should have had it done. You can take it if you've already done it before. If you have not, you need at least 9 days for the vaccination to kick in before you take your vacation or your journey to Ghana. The last thing is some vaccinations that I want to recommend to you. The number one is malaria. Now, malaria is in Ghana. We have a lot of mosquitoes, but we have the mosquitoes that when they bite you, you can get malaria. And malaria can get very serious if it's not treated or if it's not treated well. So you don't want to just put yourself through that, because it can be a painful experience. I've had malaria several times and it is not fun. It's not fun. It is so not fun. And so think about the flu times like a gazillion. So make sure you, if you can, get they malaria does not have vaccination, but they have prevention pills or shots. So talk to your doctor and see if they do that, and get yourself prepared for the trip. It is not required, so you can choose to go without it. I know people that have gone without it, and some have been fine. I haven't personally, not a lot of people go with me without it. Typically they listen to me. So just so you know, that's an option that I would recommend. The other one that I would recommend is yellow fever. And that is especially if you plan to eat street food, if you plan to drink, water, the local water and things like that. Our system, when you live in America, is not used to the system in Ghana. In Ghana, we have different water, we have different food, and the same food that they cook, they use that water, especially on the streets, like I said. And so you have to make sure that you are protecting your body. You don't shock your body. Yellow fever can be very dangerous. I've had yellow fever before. I can talk about that story another time. But it was so bad. It was so bad, guys. Like, I almost lost my life from that. And the reason why is because they weren't able to detect it on time that it was the yellow fever. They kept telling me that it was malaria. So I kept getting treated for malaria, and I was suffering from yellow fever. So it took a while for me to heal, or it took a while for them to figure it out and to heal. It was just like a 6-month process of me being sick. I don't want that on anyone. So if you plan to eat street food, make sure you get not yellow fever. You get I kept saying yellow fever. Typhoid fever. That's what it's called. Typhoid fever. So get that done. It is not. It's food poisoning on another level. Typhoid fever is like food poisoning on another level. So imagine being that sick I dehydrated. Talk about dehydrated. Talk about no, just bones. It was so bad, guys. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, I can talk about that story another day, but Ghana can do that to you. So keep that in mind. Well, those are the main things you need to plan and think of before your trip to Ghana. But do not let any of this deter you from going, because my sisters, let me tell you, it is the most amazing place for you, for Black women. You will experience tremendous growth, you will experience love, you will experience community, you're going to experience just something that you've never felt before, but ultimately healing when you go and you step your foot on the soil. When you get out the plane, the first time you do, or the first time you smell the fresh air, it's gonna do something to you. And then when you go to the Elmina Castle or Cape Cod Castle to see where our ancestors started from, or where their journey began, whatever that is, you will experience amazing healing. So I do recommend every Black woman traveling to Ghana at least once in their lifetime. But the funny thing, once you step foot there, you may not want to come back. Okay, so check out my other videos, stick around, subscribe. I will be in touch with you every day if I can. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you another time. Bye.